You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Coming up, new developments in a nearly 20-year-old Sarasota County murder case. Will preview a major announcement this morning at the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office.
Plus, we'll tell you just how much more money is headed to the Suncoast to help with red tide relief.
And we'll tell you about a new program giving students who dropped out of school a second chance to get a diploma. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, folks. Up to Wednesday, September 19th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. And now over to John Scalzi for a look at your Wednesday forecast.
Well, kind of a repeat of yesterday, to be honest with you. I mean, yesterday we saw a few showers around. It wasn't a lot, but it was some. And a few of them made their way back closer to the coastline. Same sort of situation building again today. Warm, sticky, hot, humid weather this afternoon with a few scattered showers to cool things off. We don't have much going on right now in terms of your morning commute. So there's the good news. We have absolutely no weather issues on any of the major roadways. Taking a look at the satellite view, a lot of sunshine in store for you this morning too as dawn breaks. We will see daytime high temperatures quickly make it into the 80s and eventually into the low 90s just as yesterday. About a 30% chance of rainfall a little bit later on today. We'll detail that forecast and look at the tropics coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon, John. Thank you. First alert traffic now. Here we go to the maps. First off, in Manatee County, northbound 301, some issues there as you cross over 15th Street East. Otherwise, pretty clear. Farther south, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing to report so far. And then our South County map will show all clear. A little blip there between Venice and Nokomis on 41. Otherwise, all clear at 501. Our live camera right now is at Bee Ridge Road and Tuttle Avenue, a busy spot that right now looks pretty quiet.
It does. Looks pretty quiet. All good right there out in the traffic world so far today.
502 right now.
Our top story, there could be a break in an almost 20-year-long investigation that involves a Sarasota County murder mystery.
The sheriff announced he'll have new developments in one of the most gruesome homicides in local history. It happened off Honore Avenue, just north of Clark Road. 47-year-old Deborah Dalzell had just moved into a new home in Colony Meadows Lane. Co-workers called police when she didn't show up for work. Deputies found her body in her home. We talked to her sister 6 years ago.
Our lives changed completely. March 29th, 1999. You know, we live very different lives. And everything that happens, there's, always a measure of sadness.
Detectives never did find her killer. However, the sheriff's office will announce new developments this morning at 10:30. We'll have the story at noon and on mysuncoast.com.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office has a warning this morning about a suspicious stranger that's been spotted around the county trying to talk to kids. Now, they say this man right here has been spotted in various locations around Charlotte County. It has made parents feel uncomfortable when they've seen him near their kids. Now, deputies say just this past weekend they responded to a phone call about a man seen in these surveillance pictures talking to a child at Target. Deputies say the mother had to ask him to leave several times. Right now, the Sheriff's Office says there is no indication that any crime has been committed, but they are still looking to identify the man. So if you know who it might be, contact deputies immediately.
A reminder to lock your car doors. Venice police say they responded to 6 car burglaries on Monday night. They said the break-ins happened off 3 different streets around the hospital on Alhambra Road, Dante Street, and Maggiore Road. Police say all the cars were unlocked. They remind you not to lock your doors and don't leave any valuables inside.
Well, we've seen red tide make a comeback over the last week, and now more state money is coming to help fight it. Areas impacted by red tide will get an extra $4 million, bringing the total amount of red tide funding to $13 million across the state. Now, that additional $4 million will come from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Sarasota County will get $400,000 from that new money, and Manatee County will getting about $750,000. Also, Florida Fish and Wildlife is spending more than $1 million themselves to help replenish the redfish population that has dropped due to red tide. Now, that money will go to research and production of redfish at a facility that spawns and raises hatchery fish at Port Manatee. Now, that money will also help FWC address the effects of red tide on redfish that still live in some of the coastal areas. And that red tide continues to affect businesses and parks here on the Suncoast. Lido Pool, Pavilion, and the concession stand will all be closed today. The city of Sarasota says the odor and the air quality are both just too bad to allow for swimming in the pool. No word yet on when it could reopen. And of course, remember, you can find all of our red tide coverage, including some of the answers to your most asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com/redtide.
Sarasota County schools are giving students who have dropped out a second chance to get their high school diploma. Acceleration Academy takes dropouts between the ages of 16 and 20. The school provides the academy with a list of names, and administrators reach out to the former students. One student says the environment is very different.
Way different. Like regular school, you don't really have as much help because it's a lot of kids in the class and you can't really get, the one-on-one time that you need. Here, you have people that come and help you and sit down and go over tests and do this and that.
Acceleration Academy is part of the Sarasota County School District, so transportation is provided for students. Happening tonight, a community meeting about the future master plan for a popular park in Bradenton. The city is taking a closer look at GT Bray Park on 33rd Avenue Drive West. Several projects are already underway, including the dog park expansion, new soccer and football field lighting, and other facility upgrades. GT Bray Rec Center tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. Played tennis there many times. Nice place.
I bet you have. Looks like a good place.
It is. Very big. Still ahead in Good Morning Suncoast. Flooding continues after Florence throughout the Carolinas. Local groups are helping first responders with the rescue efforts there.
And later in the hour, the suspect in the murder of Iowa University student Molly Tibbetts is set to be arraigned in court later on today. We're going to tell you what charges he is now facing today, but first.
It is 5:06 on your Wednesday morning. Nice shot there outside of our studios, looking at the downtown skyline off in the distance, looking southward. As far as the drive time forecast, here's John Scalzi.
Pretty quiet out there right now, and in fact, I'm not going to check any of the inclement weather boxes for your drive time forecast because I don't think it's going to be that huge a deal. As you head home, you might encounter a brief shower or two. We saw that yesterday, but mostly later in the afternoon and into the evening hours. So we'll keep a note that maybe about between 6 and 7, we might see an isolated shower or two build. There are no airport delays according to the FAA for any of the hubs serving Sarasota International. We'll be right back with the forecast.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey,
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we're just about exactly where we were yesterday. A temperature of 78 degrees, a dew point value of 76, 93% relative humidity, and a wind light out of the east at 3 miles per hour. Those are exactly the numbers, just about, that we had yesterday. And I think this morning is going to feel a lot like it did yesterday morning, with plenty of sunshine as we move through the morning hours and little rain chance. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch that light easterly wind bring a sea breeze from the other coast into the inland areas, and our own sea breeze build due to the daytime heating, which will get up to the 90s, and collide, creating showers in inland areas mostly. Those showers will be slow movers, so if you happen to be under the 1 or 2 showers that form, you get a lot of rainfall, but most of us will not see much in the way of rain today. And then those showers gradually drift back to the coast as they die out during the evening time and the sea breeze begins to collapse. You can see a few scattered showers still again today out in Gulf waters, but moving away from shore, so no threat there for your morning commute whatsoever. High pressure remains our dominant weather feature, with a general easterly wind, light easterly wind, and certainly not strong enough wind to keep the sea breeze from forming. It'll form, it'll move well inland later this afternoon, and that's where our showers will build. A little trough of low pressure located just to the north is basically going to fade out with time. So don't expect any cold fronts coming through, even though fall begins this weekend. We'll have this easterly wind continuing for the next several days, most likely, or a northeasterly wind. And that, again, will give very light steering flow to the showers and thunderstorms that build in inland areas. So they'll be kind of slow movers. Motion will even be a little bit erratic, but in general, they'll build back toward the coastline. So a light southeast wind again today, a few afternoon thunderstorms, but all week long it is going to be humid. Our dew point values are about as high as they get here in the state of Florida, again in the mid to upper 70s. So no break in the humidity, unfortunately, right straight through the weekend. So taking a look at the tropics, everything here is pretty cool. There are really no named storms anywhere left. Joyce was the last one, and it's gone as of 11 o'clock last night. We have a disturbance down here that the Hurricane Center is watching, but it has very low potential for developing over the course of the days ahead. Its proximity to land, its upper level winds, drier air around, all of that helping to kind of eliminate the chance of tropical development over the next 5 days. Northwest wind coming in at about 10 knots, turning to the northeast during the overnight at about 5 knots. It'll bring you a light chop with 2-foot seas. Nice day to be out on the waters. And the forecast for tides: high tide at 8:34, low tide 5:04 this evening. Looks pretty good for the next couple of days. Looking for about a 30% chance of showers, maybe a little less tomorrow. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll start to see the chances of rainfall begin to increase. As fall comes into the picture, it'll feel anything but fall-like as temperatures remain in the 90s. And rain chances start to go up a little bit to about 50%. So if you've been needing some rain on your lawns, well, your new chance to get it may be coming as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic out there this morning. Starting off in Manatee County, those roads are looking pretty good at this hour. Just a little blurb right there in Ellenton, but really not much to worry about at this hour. In Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent. Not too much going on there. Pretty quiet. And then headed a little bit farther south, if you're taking 75 or 41 south as part of your commute, that traffic is looking pretty decent as well at this hour. And before we go, here's a live look at our crew at Tuttle Avenue and Bee Ridge Road. Normally one of the morning traffic hot spots, but all is quiet on the traffic front at this time. And right now to the Carolinas and the record flooding there that has triggered thousands of water rescues, leaving people stranded.
ABC's Emily Rao is in North Carolina, where President Trump is expected to tour the damage later on this morning.
The water rescues in North Carolina continue this morning. Coast Guard crews airlifting families and their pets to safety.
We've never seen it like this before. Never seen nothing like this before.
As rivers swell even higher after Florence dumped more than 8 trillion gallons of water, officials now forced to close bridges in Fayetteville, leaving even longtime residents stunned.
You know, I've been through quite a few. This is probably the worst rain event that I've seen.
In Wilmington, lines stretched around the block, people waiting for hours for food and water.
It just sat over us for so long. It dropped so much water.
As others return to their homes to survey the damage.
The tree basically crushed the house in half.
Jacksonville resident Michael White losing everything.
You can't replace this, you know what I mean? It's too much love, too much years, too much blood, sweat, and tears.
And another tragedy yesterday in South Carolina. Sheriff's deputies transporting 2 women who were mental health patients when floodwaters overtook the van they were in, and those deputies unable to get the women out in time. Emily Rao, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Happening today, as Emily mentioned, President Trump will visit areas impacted by Florence. He'll visit both North and South Carolina to see devastation firsthand. His first stop will be Havelock, North Carolina, where he'll land at 10:20 a.m. at the Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point. He'll later tour South Carolina with that state's 2 Republican senators, Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott. He arrives back at the White House at 6:30 p.m. Governor Scott will tour Puerto Rico to pay tribute to those who lost their lives during Hurricane Maria. Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello invited Scott for his 8th trip to the island since the devastating storm last year. Scott has offered assistance and guidance in the aftermath of Maria, along with several disaster recovery centers to connect evacuees in Florida.
Well, Sarasota County first responders are in North Carolina helping with Florence recovery efforts, and 6 more are now headed that way. That group will relieve the first responders that have been there since early last week. Now, they're going to be there for 7 days, running 911 calls and helping out with water rescues. One firefighter and paramedic says it will be his first time responding to hurricane recovery efforts in another state, but he says they are all well equipped thanks to good training.
The situation is it's pretty grave right now, so we are going to head up and help them out. As far as I know, task-wise, we have to wait till we get there. We're just very excited to go up there and help out our brothers up there that are in need. Regardless of whether Sarasota or not, we're going to help.
Now, the firefighters already in North Carolina are in the city of Newport. The 6 that are going to be on their way are now going to be stationed in Raleigh, then moved into different areas all across the state. And the Sea Turtle Conservancy wants you to be aware of washbacks after a hurricane. So what exactly is a washback? Well, it happens when these baby sea turtles that spent time drifting out in the Gulf, they're pushed back to shore after a big storm like Florence. Now, they say these little guys can't make it back on their own, so if you do see one, you're asked to contact wildlife officials right away. And remember, while Florence didn't impact us here on the Suncoast, there are still 2.5 months left in hurricane season, so it is a good time to make sure that you have your family's plan in place. You can find plenty of help on our free ABC7 weather app, including a printable 2018 hurricane guide. And still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, how a new solar-powered yacht, look at this thing, it looks like a spaceship in some shots. It can make it around the world without ever having to stop for fuel. We'll show you this baby.
Yeah, and at 5:30, more trouble for Bucks quarterback Jameis Winston. The Uber driver who triggered his suspension is now suing him for a very specific reason. We'll tell you why. 5:19 right now. This is a live picture of the jail in Utah, where one of Elizabeth Smart's captors will be released early today. She's getting out about 6 years early.
That's right. They actually figured out that the time that she spent in federal prison had to be applied to her state sentence, so that's why she's getting out early. Elizabeth Smart has been very active, speaking out that she doesn't think that she's ready to be released yet, but we'll have all the details on this story for you a little bit later. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right now on ABC7.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I walk from end to end of the market on a daily basis and really try to keep my eye on things.
With so many mass shootings in the last year at schools and concerts, there have been an increase in security, but mainly at schools. What about when we're out in public? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll be safe and secure at the trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 digital media services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 digital media services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
5:22 right now. A shot outside at the beautiful skyline looking toward the south and west outside our studios. Beautiful buildings. That one that's really well lit there in the middle there, that's the Ritz-Carlton. They've got some extra special lights up top.
The lights on top.
Yeah.
Very nice shot.
Yes.
I do love that shot.
Yes.
All right, well, it is 5:22. Let's move on. Take a look at this. These 7 ducks got a big helping hand out of a sewer thanks to Wildlife Incorporated. Devin Strait, who did the rescue, says he had to lift 3 sewer grates just to round all these guys up. He then released them all into a lake near the Braden River. Look at, they're like, we're out of here. Gone.
I could watch that video on an endless loop all day long.
Well done, well done.
5:23 right now, and there's our respective Facebook pages. If you get a chance, stop by and say hello. We plug up fresh content every day, breaking news events we put on there, as well as local events as well.
Well, I think there's a pretty big local event on yours as well, because it is your wedding anniversary today, Ray Collins.
That's true.
Happy anniversary, Aaron, if you're watching this morning.
There's a picture on my Facebook page right now.
There is. Go wish him happy anniversary.
Of Aaron, that is, yes.
And you.
Well, Aaron's picture.
Well, from slow ducks to fast cars, Ferrari says they've unveiled the most powerful road car ever. And wait till you see this new solar-powered yacht.
It's like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
The stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a tweet from Elon Musk triggers a Justice Department probe of Tesla.
The federal government has opened a fraud investigation into the company. Last month, Musk tweeted he was thinking of taking Tesla private. The message drove up the company's stock price. And Swiss designers have unveiled a solar-powered yacht that can sail around the world without refueling.
It's topped with enough solar panels to cover a full-size tennis court. No word yet on the possible price tag for the 78-foot boat. It can actually sleep as many as 10 people. And back on land, This is Ferrari's most powerful car ever.
The Monza SP1 has one seat but no windshield. Its 810 horsepower engine gets the car up to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. Ferrari's only making a few hundred of them. Estimated price over $1 million. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Decon Baits.
New Decon, so delicious mice risk their lives for it. Now 10 times tastier to mice than the lead competitor. Mice love it to death.
I gotta get out of here. Which way? I don't know. What am I looking for? Something I can't see. I can feel it. It's magic. Sauvage. New eau de parfum. Dio.
Available at Macy's.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords, all on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Coming up, no FBI investigation, no testimony. The woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault says she now wants an FBI investigation before she'll agree to testify.
Plus, the latest from the man accused of killing Iowa college student Molly Tibbetts. We'll preview his arraignment today.
And we'll break down the state education plans outlined by the two leading candidates for Florida governor. Those stories plus your Tuesday forecast this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning to you. It's 5:29 on this Wednesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins for the midweek forecast. Now we turn to the expert, meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looks pretty good for us today, Ray. Morning commute looks fine, no doubt about that. In fact, today's going to look a lot like it did yesterday, I think. Not much has changed in the atmosphere. Plenty of moisture around to work with, though there will be a few scattered showers around, but only a few. The trigger mechanism again today caused by the collision of our west coast sea breeze moving a good distance inland and meeting up with the east coast sea breeze and colliding in the interior sections of Hardee, DeSoto County, Highlands County, and then gradually drifting back to the coast. But clearly, radar is quiet right now. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast for you today. Satellite view shows that as dawn breaks. Should be a sunny day, a mostly sunny day, taking us to a daytime high temperature of about 91. Back to you.
All right, talk to you again soon. Thank you, John. First alert traffic showing some slowdowns there north of the river in Palmetto in both directions on 301. Be aware of that condition. Farther south now in the upper half of Sarasota County, 301 northbound as you go through Newtown heading toward University Parkway. And then farther south right now, nothing to speak of in the lower half in Sarasota's southern half at 5:30 on your Wednesday morning. New developments involving Judge Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court confirmation. The woman accusing him of sexual assault now says she'll only come to Washington if the FBI investigates first.
ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with the latest on this Supreme Court showdown.
This morning, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford standing firm. No FBI investigation, no testimony. In a letter to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley obtained by ABC News, Ford's lawyers writing, quote, "A full investigation by law enforcement officials will ensure the crucial facts and witnesses in this matter are assessed in a nonpartisan manner, and that the committee is fully informed before conducting any hearing." Adding Ford's life has been turned upside down and she will not be appearing on Capitol Hill on Monday. Overnight, Grassley responding in a statement, Dr. Ford's testimony would reflect her personal knowledge and memory of events. Nothing the FBI or any other investigator does would have any bearing on what Dr. Ford tells the committee, so there is no reason for any further delay.
I don't think the FBI really should be involved because they don't want to be involved.
The FBI has already completed one background check on Kavanaugh. President Trump could request another to look at the new investigation, but the president making it clear he has no intention to do so. Ford is accusing Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her when he was drunk at a high school party in the 1980s. Kavanaugh emphatically denies the allegations. But Democrats are coming to Ford's defense, insisting the FBI should investigate the alleged assault and the hearing should be delayed. That, at least for now, seems unlikely, with the committee chair saying Dr. Ford was offered a public or a private hearing, whichever made her most comfortable, and that the invitation for Monday still stands. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Well, progress is being made between the leaders of North Korea and South Korea as the North pledges to permanently close down all nuclear engine testing and missile launching facilities. The South Korean leader called the decision the beginning of, quote, the era of no war, adding that both sides have decided to remove all threats from the Korean peninsula. Now, North Korea also said that they would consider additional action if the U.S. is willing to take similar measures.
Happening today, the suspect in the murder of the Iowa University student Molly Tibbetts will be back in court today. Christian Rivera will be arraigned for first-degree murder. This is when he enters a plea. Tibbetts disappeared after going for a jog in Brooklyn, Iowa, nearly 2 months ago. Her body was found in a cornfield. A residential security camera led police to their suspect. Rivera led them to her body, but claimed he blacked out and doesn't recall details of what happened. Officials say Rivera is an illegal immigrant from Mexico. Also happening today, one of Elizabeth Smart's kidnappers will leave prison. Wanda Barzi was originally set for release in 2024, but a state board in Utah unexpectedly credited her for the time she served during a separate federal sentence. Barzi and her husband kidnapped Smart from her bedroom in Utah back in 2002 when Smart was 14 years old. They held her captive for 9 months. Smart says Barzi is still too dangerous to be released.
A man has been charged with the murder of an Iowa State University golfer. 22-year-old Colin Daniel Richards has been charged with first-degree murder of college golfer Celia Rosamina. Her body was found at a golf course earlier this week. She had been stabbed several times in the upper torso, her head and neck. Now, the governor of Iowa had this to say about her death.
It's just a horrific, senseless death again. So we're learning more of the details. And as I've said before, you know, one of my #1 priorities as the governor of this state is to make sure that our people are safe.
Now, police interviewed a man who said he's an acquaintance of Richard, who said that within the last few days, Richard told him he, quote, had an urge to rape and kill a woman. Rosamina was a 2018 Big 12 golf champion and also the Iowa State Female Athlete of the Year.
Caught on camera, a Wisconsin woman is back in custody after leaving her handcuffs and escaping out an emergency exit. Look at this surveillance footage. We can watch this together inside a Wisconsin police station. Police arrested 30-year-old Amber Gonzalez for theft and took her to a holding cell. You can see her wiggling and tugging at her cuffs, eventually breaking free. And then she's going to get up and run through an emergency exit door. There she goes. She got him off. Thankfully, she was found less than an hour later, and she was taken back to jail.
Wow, not to Tampa. The female Uber driver who accused Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback Jameis Winston of groping her during a ride is now suing him. Now, Winston has been suspended for the past 3 games by the NFL because of these accusations. That lawsuit says she's seeking more than $75,000 in damages for emotional distress and future therapy expenses. Now, according to her attorney, she says she's suing now because she's been, quote, unimpressed by Winston's continued lack of honesty or awareness into his behavior. ESPN says Winston's representatives were not surprised by the lawsuit being filed.
An update now on that deadly bridge collapse near Florida International University. Contractors who worked on the bridge have been fined more than $86,000. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration issued the fines, saying the contractors did not provide adequate safeguards despite serious cracks that had developed on that new bridge. 6 people were killed when the bridge collapsed back in March.
The 2 candidates for Florida governor are launching competing plans to improve our state's education system. Republican Ron DeSantis wants to increase merit pay for teachers by requiring 80% of school funding to be spent in the classroom and not on administration. DeSantis also wants to expand school voucher programs. Meanwhile, Democrat Andrew Gillum, he outlined a proposal to provide a minimum $50,000 starting salary for teachers by increasing the state corporate income tax by $1 billion.
I want this state to be measured by the investments that we make in kids, not into as many tax breaks as we can manage, but in our children.
Raising taxes, which will crush the jobs that we're then trying to train the students for, is a little problematic, because when you raise taxes on the corporate income, you reduce the amount of investment in Florida.
Now, Gillum's plan would also increase the state's corporate tax rate by over 2% on some of the state's richest businesses.
Election day now less than 7 weeks away.
That is right. Big election.
Big races.
Yeah, a lot of times people look at midterms as not being so big, but these are very important.
Biggest I can ever recall.
Yeah.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you about some of the perks being offered by retailers to fill thousands of seasonal jobs ahead of the upcoming holiday season.
And we'll tell you how an 8-year-old girl is inspiring others with her goal to throw out the first pitch at every major league ballpark in the country. We love this story so much. Wait till you hear it, though. But first,
underhand pitch there.
Oh.
It is 5:38. Pretty shot there of the U.S. Capitol, the Rotunda. Beautiful picture there, and certainly a busy place. Lots to talk about there involving the confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh. That story coming up. But first, let's get to the forecast today, the red tide status. Here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, the winds will blow basically out of the east again for the first half of the day, then switch around to the west as we head into the afternoon. And there have been several reports of intense amount of red tide irritant in the air from Mote Marine spotters, Holmes Beach, Lido, Siesta, and other beaches coming in with moderate to low amounts. So it's still around, no doubt about that. If you are headed to the beach today, you can expect a daytime high in the upper 80s with a UV index coming in at about a 10. We'll have the complete forecast in a second.
Get
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
According to a new survey by U.S. News and World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
78 degrees, our air temperature, dew point value very warm at 76. See, that's the thing. Here on the Suncoast, we get a kind of a moderating influence on our daytime high temperature because of our sea breezes. So that's nice. I mean, our temperature yesterday was 90. Many other places in Florida got mid-90s. But we pay for that onshore wind flow with the dew point values and the humidity. So it gets warm and sticky in the afternoons, but at least we're not sweltering hot like some places are. As we head into the afternoon, we may even see a few showers around, but they will be kind of few and far between after a day that progresses with mostly sunny skies. Clouds will start to build in inland areas, and then we'll work in that 30% chance of rainfall that carries us into the evening hours as well. The storms build mostly in Hardee and DeSoto. That's where the heaviest of the rain will be, but then some of the storms may kind of work their way back to the coastline as we head into the evening hours. Currently, we've got one lone shower close to coast down to the south of us, but other than that, everything's quiet. Big ridge of high pressure brings us this easterly wind flow today. Little trough of low pressure over the Carolinas kind of washes away, but still provides perhaps a scattered shower or two there over rivers that are probably going to crest either today or later tonight. We'll look for this easterly wind flow to continue for the next several days, bringing those showers along the spine of the state and forcing them closer to the coastline with time. So light southeast winds, and because they're light, some of the motion of the storms this afternoon might be a bit erratic. A few afternoon storms put the rain chance at 30%, and then humid all week long. Taking a look at the tropics, everything is quiet. The near Atlantic, Caribbean, Great week to go on a Caribbean cruise if you're going. Should be no problems there. Gulf waters near Atlantic. The closest place is out in the central Atlantic. There's a disturbance that has only a 20% chance of development over 5 days just because of its proximity to land, because of upper level shear, because of dry air in the atmosphere. All of the tropics are pretty quiet right now. Northwest wind comes in at about 10 knots, turns more northerly and then northeasterly overnight, 2-foot seas with a light chop. And your forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high. The tops out around 91 today, 30% rain chance. Next several days feature pretty much the same situation as we head into the first weekend of fall. Yes, fall. It won't feel much like fall. Temperatures will be in the 90s right straight into the beginning of next work week. And rain chances by the weekend will be going up. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Take a look outside. We'll check on your traffic one more time. In Manatee County, starting to see some delays southbound on 301 as you go by State Road 70. Other than that, pretty quiet in Manatee County. In Sarasota County, if you are heading on to 75 off of Fruitville, you can experience a little bit of delays there. Pretty normal, especially around that exit ramp. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south, 75 and 41 both running pretty smooth out there at 544. That's your first alert traffic.
In consumer news, some early holiday gifts for those looking for jobs this holiday season.
That's right. Macy's say they're going to hire about 80,000 seasonal workers. The Gap's going to bring about 65,000 temps onto the job. And Target says they're going to need to hire about 120,000 holiday employees. Delivery companies is another big one, like UPS and FedEx. They're looking for about 155,000 more workers between the two. Now, it might be hard to fill so many of those jobs, so as an incentive, Target is actually going to be offering their temporary workers $12 an hour, plus store discounts and a gift card lottery.
Oh, you want to apply?
Yes, I'm in for that.
Google will be in more cars. Yeah, Nissan and Mitsubishi say they'll start using Android to power its in-car systems. The company says the integration will start in 2021 and give drivers easier access to things like Maps and Google Assistant.
Well, Amazon is going small for a change. The retail giant is launching a new service called Amazon Storefronts. Now, the idea, it's a new way for small and mid-sized businesses to sell some of their products directly through Amazon. So instead of having to navigate thousands of online sellers, sometimes it's really big companies, Amazon wants customers to interact with small businesses and have a more intimate kind of mom and pop shop experience through their website. In HealthSmart, newly uncovered documents show the FDA knew for years about rogue doctors that had been wrongly prescribing potent opioids, sometimes even killing patients.
Reporter Lee Zurich explains in this story called License to Pill.
On November 10th, 2013, Stephanie Lopez posted on Facebook about her trust in God and her inability to manage much. Hours later, Stephanie Lopez died, killed by a cocktail of powerful drugs, including Subsys, a drug approved to treat cancer pain. Stephanie Lopez suffered from chronic pain. She never had cancer.
Do you think she died from the Subsys?
I do. There's no question in my mind she died as a consequence of that. Subsys is known as a turf drug, one of the most potent fentanyls on the market. In 2012, the FDA initiated what's called the Turf REMS program to monitor doctors, patients, and prescriptions.
McKesson declined our request for an on-camera interview.
In May, Investigate TV told you the FDA handed oversight of the program to a drug distributor, McKesson.
I really don't know how Big Pharma got involved in managing a program that's designed to basically control Big Pharma.
Investigate TV obtained nearly 5,000 pages of FDA documents through a Freedom of Information Act request. They paint a picture of lax oversight and missed opportunities to clamp down on prescription abuses. In those documents, a series of warnings about Stephanie Lopez's doctor, Michigan neurologist Gavin Auerbach. Program regulators employed by drug makers opened a case, contacting Auerbach in March of 2013 for failing to provide paperwork for 62 patients. The paperwork, a form indicating those patients understood the risk that comes with taking these powerful drugs, an important step to help prevent misuse. Even after warnings and re-education, Auerbach continued to prescribe fentanyl to patients without submitting their signed form. By October of 2013, regulators closed the case, even though Auerbach still lacked required documentation for 53 patients. Less than a month later, one of Auerbach's patients, Stephanie Lopez, died.
It seems like they were acting as Dr. Auerbach's enabler when they had reason to believe that he was not judicious in his prescription practices, there's red flags waving in the wind, and they continue to supply him with a stream of a potentially deadly drug. It's very, very concerning.
Even though the Turf-Rems drugs are intended to treat cancer pain, in a 5-year period, 72% of Medicare patients prescribed the powerful drugs didn't have cancer. The internal documents show even after becoming aware of lapses in oversight and enforcement, the FDA did little. 2 years ago, the FDA's deputy director wrote, after reviewing the program for a 5th time, we conclude that it is not possible to determine whether the overarching goal of the program is being met.
That was Lee Zurich reporting. Now, McKesson, several drug makers, and the FDA all declined an interview request for the story. You can see the entire License to Pill series and more investigations from across the country at investigatetv.com or stream it on Roku by downloading the Investigate TV app.
Well, speaking of opioids now, actress Roseanne Barr says she believes her famous TV character will be killed off by a pill overdose. ABC is spinning off Roseanne with a new show called The Conners, which premieres October 16th. A source involved in the new ABC production says Barr's prediction of opioids is not accurate, but wouldn't speak on how her character might actually be killed off the show or written off. Barr was fired from her own show a few months ago after some tweets got her in trouble on social media.
I know a renegade soldier when I see one. Never occurred to me that one might come from above.
Oh yeah, move over, Wonder Woman. Marvel Studios is rocking their own girl power by finally releasing the first trailer for Captain Marvel. Oscar winner Brie Larson, she's bringing the character to life on the big screen. Now, if you're not familiar, Ray, Captain Marvel is actually considered one of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel universe, so this is a really big deal. It is set to hit theaters on March 8th.
Okay.
John Scalzi and I will be in line if you need us. Finally, speaking of girl power, take a look at this little munchkin. It is mission accomplished for an inspiring 8-year-old girl. Haley Dawson was born with Poland syndrome, which left her missing 3 fingers on her right hand. But her family helped her get a 3D printed hand, and after physical therapy, little Haley became the first person to ever throw out the first pitch at all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums, with her final toss coming this past weekend with the Angels. She is now raising money to help create and donate more 3D hands like hers to other kids. She wants people to know that if she can do it, they can too. I love that story so much.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? At 8 years old, to have the idea to like pass it on and help other kids.
Sweet
like
story.
That. Good parents.
I think the Rays could use her. 5:51 right now. I'll update the day's top news headlines after this. First, here's a peek outside our studios at your Rosemary district.
That it is a beautiful morning shaping up. A little bit of rain in there. Lots of humidity. John Scalzi is going to tell you all about it. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Here are your top headlines. The Sarasota County Sheriff is announcing a new major development in a nearly 20-year-old murder. Deborah Dalzell was found dead in her new house off Honore Road 20 years ago. Her killer was never found.
Plus, the female Uber driver who accused Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback Jameis Winston of groping her during a ride is now suing him. She's seeking more than $75,000 in damages.
The smell from red tide is once again causing the city of Sarasota to close the Lido Key Beach pool, pavilion, and concession area. The toxic algae blooms been around now for the past 4 months. As far as today's forecast, here's John Scalzi.
So we're looking a lot like we did yesterday. I think we'll have that general easterly wind flow that turns back to the west during the afternoon. We'll have scattered late afternoon showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two building inland, then drifting to the coast. So far, calm in the tropics. Back to you.
The timing couldn't be worse for Jameis Winston to get back in the headlines.
That's right. We've been talking like all this week, like how good Fitzpatrick is doing. He's like, I've caught Fitzmagic.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Bucks fan now.
I know. He's doing really well. So he's set to come off a 3-game suspension, and this Uber driver is now suing him, and I think the timing is very interesting, but we'll tell you more about it next hour. That's a good tease, right?
The driver's a Fitzpatrick fan, too, you think?
Yeah, yes.
More news after this. Stay with us.